In what seems like an eternity ago, I used to do DoorDash. You guys may remember that this channel was called, formerly known as DoorDash Dad, up until recently when we became Syndicate Video Media. And this video kind of was close to home. Now, I wanted to touch on it and tell you why I went so hard on YouTube. Why am I so passionate about YouTube? Why do I insist on you doing the right thing? And why do I do the right thing? Because there's nothing wrong with this line of work, but I had to get out of it for several reasons. And we're going to react to a video today. And I know that I really don't know what I'm going to do with this channel. I have no idea what direction I want to take it on. And we'll cross that road when we get to it. But I wanted to kind of tie this video in of what I used to do to what I do now and show you just why I had to get out of this line of work and pursue my goal of doing YouTube full time. Let's check out this video from Inside Edition.
There is shock today over a food delivery driver accused of reaching for his gun in a dispute over a tip.
I said to myself, it's either him or me.
Cops say it all started when a driver working for DoorDash, America's #1 food delivery service, delivered $100 worth of groceries to a home in Vancouver in Washington state. The driver claimed he was stiffed on the tip. So imagine the family's surprise when the DoorDash driver showed up the next morning while they're having breakfast and demanded he be given the cash tip he says he was promised. You can hear the driver knock. He tells the family why he's come back.
You said cash tip.
Wow. So he said cash tip. What you might not know is, I'm sure you do, when you place any type of delivery, you have the option of tipping. And a lot of times the customer could remove the tip. In DoorDash's case, it comes by default, I believe. I haven't ordered in a while, and you can put the number in there. Well, some customers will remove the tip. And tips aside, man, I had to deal with that, but I also had to deal with the very low pay from DoorDash. Very low pay from DoorDash. And it started to get to me after a while. So apparently this person was told it was a cash tip upon arrival. Usually when you get that, you don't think anything of it. I never expect people to be at the door because sometimes it's a ploy and sometimes it's a real thing. But let's see what happened next.
Granddad can't believe it.
Back up. Get the out of here. Call the cops. Call the cops right now.
Suddenly, a scuffle breaks out in the driveway. When did you realize he had a gun on him?
I didn't realize he had a gun on him until we both made contact.
Granddad Anthony Valino says he could feel a gun in the driver's waistband. He grabs the pistol and wrestles with the driver.
My adrenaline was just soaring through the roof.
Granddad unloads the bullets.
Get my
The DoorDash driver gets in his car and drives off, but cops caught up with him. He was charged with provoking an assault. Cops say the 59-year-old driver told them he tried to pull his shirt up to show the homeowner he was armed after he was confronted.
I'll call the cops.
DoorDash says what happened was unacceptable and they have a zero-tolerance policy for harassment. They also say the driver was deactivated. As for the driver, he denies any wrongdoing, saying he was the one assaulted. He has pleaded not guilty.
Okay, well, okay. All right, so you go to a dude's house. So let me get this straight. So the next morning, this fool right here decides to go to so he delivered the groceries. He then goes home. He comes back the next day. Maybe he thought the person would tip them through the app because you can do that. He goes home. He comes back to the person's house. So that means that he remembered. There is no log of where you went. You can't go and see old addresses in the DoorDash app. So he went back to a person which he must have noted to confront the person about the cash tip he didn't get the day before. Now, in no way was this right by the DoorDash driver. He was wrong. He should have been deactivated. He was. We'll see what happens with the criminal charges. But why I decided to go YouTube full time, why I had to get out of it, and why I value YouTube so much, because it is giving an opportunity for my family and for me to do something that I enjoy, to do something that I'm passionate about, and to make money doing it. Because this, while I don't frown upon this line of work, it's not something that not only did I not want to do for long term, and if that's something you want to do, that's fine. But for me, it got to the point where the pay was so low that it was better for me, because sometimes I used to make YouTube videos and then I would stop, or I would cater my schedule around the gig economy work. It's a tough job, meaning it's very hard on your vehicle, it's very hard on your psyche, because you never know what you're going to get paid. You see an amount, but that amount could change. So I decided to go all in YouTube. There was a time that I had to make a decision between, do I make a video or do I go out and do some gig economy work? And then the summer 2024, not that long ago, not even a year ago, I was kind of doing it here and there, and I decided, but I was doing other apps as well. And I decided, you know what, Derek? Now's the time. It was so bad that the chime of DoorDash was the equivalent of the Winter Soldier's activation code. If you ever seen Captain America, the Winter Soldier, there was a series of words that you could say that would literally activate the Winter Soldier. It was so upsetting just to hear the chime of DoorDash. And I decided to shift my attention to doing this full time. But I had built the network. I had been doing it for 5 years. This isn't an overnight thing. I have been doing this for 5 years before I even got to that point. Multiple monetized channels. But what I decided is I was wasting more time. I was losing more money trying to balance my time between specifically this job and doing YouTube. And when I got to a point where it was time, but this stuff right here. Now, again, the old man was out of line. There's no reason he should have done that. You just got to take your frustration out somewhere else. I understand his frustration, but this is not a right to do what he did. But that frustration that he was feeling, I have been there before. And I decided to go all in on YouTube and try to hone in my success here, because I know what can be done. And that's why I'm making this video. Not only I used to do this work, but there are ways that you can do it too. And again, I don't know what this YouTube channel is going to become. I don't know if I'm cut out. I don't know if I even want to be the how-to YouTuber. Maybe that's not what I'm supposed to do. Maybe I'm supposed to do something else. Maybe it revolves around YouTube. Maybe it revolves around YouTube experience. Maybe it's something completely different. But when I saw this video on Inside Edition, I was like, yo, I have to talk about this. I have to talk about this because maybe this would help people understand why I'm so passionate about the platform and why you have to do things the right way, because YouTube was a way for me to escape from this. So when I use the word escape, and I'm going to give you some inside edition, some inside information. So I decided that there was a time in 2019 that I had to step up. I had to step up, and I had to take care of my son full time. I had to take care of him full time. My ex-wife said, hey, we got a situation. Can you take our kid for a little bit while I get my situation kind of hunkered down? No problem. I used to drive a school bus, and I couldn't do both. So I decided to do gig economy. This is 2019, and DoorDash was an app I used to do for a long time. The only one I used to do. So I had to step up. I had to make myself available, and that was a way for me to do it. From driving a school bus to doing gig economy, where you can set your own hours to a certain extent. There's a time that DoorDash, it closed for a little bit, where you can't use there's nothing on the app. And I decided to do that, right? Stepped up. And when I did that, my YouTube channels were just taking off. I was just kind of getting my feet wet when it came to YouTube. And here I am now with multiple YouTube channels monetized, working on more, and was able to use that experience to do something that was just filling us. It was a stopgap. Again, no issue with anybody doing this type of work. But for me, I always knew it was a stopgap. And that is why I try to be as transparent as possible. I try to give you my experience. And I don't want you to be taken advantage of by anyone on this platform, because I know what YouTube was able to do for me if done the right way. And again, I know I've said it a lot in this video, but I don't know what this channel is going to become. I don't know what I'll have a passion for in the future. But this video resonated with me. I wanted to do something different today, and here I am. So we already know that the driver was out of line. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. And I want you to know that if you want a YouTube channel, if you want to be successful, whether you want to make money or you don't, you can do it if you want it. I'll catch you guys in the next video.